The Zalthiri Defense Network had never detected anything like it. The massive vessel appeared at the edge of their space without warning. Its dark hull absorbing sensor scans like a black hole devours light. Senior Monitor Valen's facial tentacles writhed with anxiety as he studied the readings. In 15 cycles of monitoring the border, he had never seen technology this advanced. "Sir, the vessel's power signature. It's impossible," reported Junior Monitor Cress, her crystalline eyes wide with disbelief. "The energy output exceeds our entire defense fleet's combined capacity." Valen moved closer to the holographic display, watching as waves of unknown energy rippled across the mysterious ship's surface. The vessel was massive, nearly 2 kilometers in length, yet it moved with impossible grace, adjusting its position with microscopic precision that defied the laws of physics as the Zalthiri understood them. "Run a full spectral analysis," Valen ordered, keeping his voice steady despite the fear coiling in his chest, "and get me High Commander Nexus immediately." The monitoring station's AI complied instantly, flooding the screens with streams of incomprehensible data. What they saw only deepened the mystery. The ship's hull was composed of materials that didn't exist in their database, its construction methods beyond their current understanding of engineering. "Sir," Cress's voice cracked slightly, "I found a match in the restricted archives. The energy signature. It matches descriptions from the Testament of the Ancients. It's human." The word fell like a stone into still water. Every Zalthiri in the command center froze. Humans were considered nearly mythical beings in this part of space, known only through fragments of ancient records and stories passed down through generations. The last confirmed human contact in this sector had been over 300 cycles ago, when a single human scout ship had reportedly fought off an entire Drachnid battle fleet. High Commander Nexus's hologram materialized in the center of the command deck, his usually stoic demeanor showing clear concern. "Report, Senior Monitor." As Valen explained the situation, the human vessel began to move, not toward them, but rather into a high orbit around a nearby gas giant. Its movements were precise and deliberate, as if it wanted to be seen but not perceived as threatening. "They're powering up something," Cress announced, her hands dancing across the control interface. "Energy readings are, sir, they're off the scale." The human ship's hull began to glow with a soft blue light, and suddenly hundreds of small objects emerged from its sides. They watched in awe as the objects formed a complex three-dimensional pattern in space, each one pulsing with its own internal light. "It's a first contact protocol," Nexus breathed, his expression shifting from concern to wonder. "They're not here to attack. They're here to talk." The objects rearranged themselves, forming glowing symbols in every major language of the sector. The message was simple but profound. "We come in peace, seeking dialogue. Humanity extends its hand in friendship." As Valen watched the display, he realized they were witnessing something historic. Humanity hadn't just returned to this sector. They had chosen to make their presence known in a way that demonstrated both their overwhelming technological superiority and their peaceful intentions. It was a masterclass in diplomatic finesse. "Sir," Cress called out, her voice steadier now. "They're transmitting a data packet. It's their historical records, scientific knowledge, cultural information. This is more data than our entire network could process in a cycle." High Commander Nexus straightened his ceremonial robes. "Send word to the Council. Humanity has returned to the stars, and they wish to talk. Let us hope we are wise enough to listen." As the Zalthiri Command Center buzzed with activity, the human vessel maintained its position, its very presence a testament to how far humanity had advanced. They had returned not as conquerors, but as potential allies, though the power of their ship made it clear they could have chosen a very different approach. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the bridge of the TSS Prometheus, watching the alien station through the ship's quantum imaging system. The massive structure was an impressive feat of engineering, though primitive by Earth's current standards. Her crew worked quietly at their stations, each movement precise and practiced. "They're adorable," Lieutenant Rodriguez commented from the tactical station, monitoring the frantic energy signatures from the alien facility. All that panic over our basic greeting display. Chen smiled but kept her eyes on the station. Remember, Marcus, we were them once. Not so long ago, humanity was jumping at shadows in the dark between stars. She adjusted her uniform's collar, more out of habit than necessity. Status report. Their entire defense network is mobilizing, reported Commander Yuki Tanaka from her science station. Her augmented eyes flickered with streams of data. 17 capital ships incoming from various points in the sector. Their FTL signatures suggest they're pushing their engines to the limit. Chen nodded. Everything was proceeding according to the diplomatic first contact scenarios they had gamed out. The Zalthiri were reacting exactly as anticipated. Cautious but not hostile. Defensive but not aggressive. Perfect. Admiral Zhang is asking for an update, the communications officer announced. The Federation Council is watching this first contact closely. Tell them Phase 1 is proceeding as planned, Chen replied. The Zalthiri are technological adapters, not innovators. Show them something impressive enough, and they'll be more interested in learning than fighting. The bridge crew continued their work as the Prometheus maintained its position. The ship's quantum core hummed almost imperceptibly, maintaining the complex fields that made their technological displays possible. Each demonstration was carefully calculated, impressive enough to demonstrate humanity's advancement, but not so overwhelming as to appear threatening. Captain, Tanaka called out, I'm detecting some interesting readings from the station. They're attempting to scan our hull with what appears to be their most advanced sensors. Chen moved to the science station, studying the data. Let them get just enough to pique their curiosity. Adjust our quantum shell accordingly. The Prometheus's outer layer shifted slightly, allowing carefully selected scan data to reach the alien observers. It was like teaching children. You had to let them discover some things for themselves. Ma'am, Rodriguez interrupted. The Zalthiri fleet has arrived. They're taking up defensive positions around the station. The tactical display showed the alien ships arranged in a classic defensive sphere. Their weapon systems were powered but not targeted, their shields raised but not at maximum. It was a careful balance of showing strength while avoiding provocation. Now for the interesting part, Chen said. Deploy the cultural exchange probes. Let's see how they react to a more personal touch. Dozens of small, crystalline objects emerged from the Prometheus's hull, each one containing carefully selected information about Earth's history, art, and achievements. The probes moved in intricate patterns, their paths forming complex mathematical sequences that any advanced civilization would recognize as intentional. They're scanning the probes, Tanaka reported. Their energy signatures just spiked. I think they've discovered the quantum entanglement cores. Chen allowed herself a small smile. The probes contained technology that would have seemed like magic to humanity just a century ago. To the Zalthiri, they would be revolutionary. And they were just a taste of what Earth could offer. Incoming transmission, the communications officer announced. They're using our proposed protocol. Translation matrix is engaging. The bridge's holofield activated, displaying the dignified form of High Commander Nexus. His tentacles were arranged in what their xenologists identified as a formal greeting pattern. Greetings, vessel of humanity. Nexus began, his words automatically translated. I am High Commander Nexus of the Zalthiri Cooperative. Your arrival was unexpected. High Commander, Chen responded, bowing slightly. I am Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Federation ship Prometheus. We apologize for any alarm our arrival may have caused. We believe in making a proper first impression. As the diplomatic dance began, Chen knew the real work was just starting. Humanity had returned to this sector for a reason. The Zalthiri weren't ready for what was coming. But with humanity's help, they could be. The diplomatic chamber aboard the Zalthiri station hummed with nervous energy as Captain Chen's hologram stood before the assembled alien council. Her image was crystal clear, a testament to human projection technology that made her seem physically present despite being kilometers away on the Prometheus. "Your arrival is unprecedented," Elder Kask stated, his crystalline form refracting light in patterns that indicated deep concern. "Humanity has been absent from this sector for 3 centuries. Why return now?" Chen's expression remained carefully neutral. "Sometimes the best time to make friends is before you need them." She gestured, and a holographic display materialized in the chamber center. "Our long-range sensors detected these energy signatures 6 months ago." The display showed a region of space far beyond Zal theory territory. Red markers indicated movement patterns that made several council members shift uncomfortably. "Impossible," High Commander Nexus breathed. "Those regions are empty. Our surveys were unable to penetrate the quantum shadows." Chen finished. "What you're seeing is a fleet. A very large, very advanced fleet, using technology that shouldn't exist in this sector." The council chamber erupted in worried murmurs. Elder Kask raised his appendages for silence. "You're suggesting an invasion force." "We're suggesting something far more concerning." Chen manipulated the display, zooming in on one of the signatures. "These energy patterns match records from humanity's early expansion era. Someone out there has gotten their hands on prohibited technology. Technology that nearly destroyed our civilization before we learned to control it." The display shifted again, showing the movement of the mysterious fleet. Their pattern was methodical, systematic, and headed directly toward Zal theory space. 3 days ago, we lost contact with our long-range probes in this region." Chen continued. "Something is deliberately isolating this sector, cutting off quantum communications. Classic prelude to an invasion." "If what you say is true," another council member spoke up, "why not simply warn us? Why this elaborate first contact protocol?" Chen's hologram walked through the display, her image passing through the light patterns. "Because a warning wouldn't be enough. You're not ready for what's coming. Your technology, impressive as it is, won't stand a chance against quantum-based weapons." The silence that followed was deafening. Every member of the council knew she was right. They had seen enough of the Prometheus's capabilities to understand the gulf between their civilizations. "We're offering an alliance," Chen said into the silence. "Not just diplomatic, but technological. The Prometheus carries a full complement of engineering crews and fabrication systems. We can upgrade your defensive capabilities, enhance your ships, prepare your people." "And what does humanity want in return?" Nexus asked, his tone cautious but intrigued. "Partners," Chen replied simply. "What's coming isn't just a threat to you. If hostile forces gain a foothold in this sector, they could destabilize the entire quantum barrier we've established. Humanity learned long ago that some fights are too big to face alone." The display changed one final time, showing the Prometheus's internal schematics. The council gasped collectively as they saw the true extent of the ship's capabilities. Manufacturing facilities that could upgrade an entire fleet, defensive systems that could protect a planet, and weapons that could reshape reality itself. "We don't have much time," Chen continued. "Our models suggest 3 weeks before they arrive. That's barely enough time to prepare basic defenses, let alone implement full quantum shielding across your key installations." Elder Kask conferred quietly with his colleagues before turning back to Chen. "And if we refuse, then we wish you luck," Chen answered honestly. "We'll maintain our quantum barrier at the sector's edge, but we won't interfere with your sovereign right to face this threat alone. Though I hope you understand why we can't allow quantum weapons to proliferate unchecked, regardless of your decision." The council chamber fell silent again as the implications sank in. Humanity wasn't just offering help, they were offering a chance at survival. The mysterious fleet's arrival was inevitable. The only choice was whether to face it alone or with humanity's advanced technology at their side. "There is one other thing you should know," Chen added, her hologram's expression growing more serious. "We've detected quantum signature echoes that suggest this fleet isn't acting independently. Someone is coordinating these movements across multiple sectors. Someone who knows exactly how to exploit the weaknesses in this region's space-time fabric. The revelation hung in the air like a physical presence. The threat wasn't just to their sector. It was part of something larger, something that humanity had apparently been tracking and containing for longer than they'd realized. The massive hangar bay of the Zalthiri defense station had never seen anything like the organized chaos that now filled it. Human engineering teams moved with practiced efficiency, their powered exoskeletons allowing them to handle equipment that would normally require heavy machinery. Quantum fabricators hummed as they reshaped matter at the atomic level, upgrading alien technology with human innovations. Commander Yuki Tanaka supervised the operation from a floating platform, her augmented vision tracking dozens of simultaneous projects. Careful with those shield emitters, she called out to a team working on a Zalthiri cruiser. Their power grid isn't ready for full quantum integration yet. Beside her, Chief Engineer Veril of the Zalthiri watched in amazement as his people's most advanced warship was transformed. In 2 days, you've done what would have taken us decades to achieve, he admitted, his tentacles twitching with excitement and anxiety. We've had a lot of practice, Tanaka replied, manipulating a holographic display to show the upgrade's progress. Quantum integration is tricky. Push too fast, and you risk destabilizing the entire power system. Too slow, and the upgrades won't be ready in time. The Prometheus had deployed its full complement of engineering drones, the crystalline machines swarming over Zalthiri ships like brilliant insects. Each drone contained a quantum core that allowed it to manipulate matter and energy in ways that seemed to defy physics. Your people are adapting quickly, Tanaka observed, watching Zalthiri engineers working alongside human teams. Most species take weeks to grasp even basic quantum principles. Veril's color shifted to a deeper blue, a sign of pride in his species. We've always been quick learners. Though I admit, some of your technology seems more like magic than science. A sudden alarm drew their attention. One of the quantum fabricators had detected an instability in a Zalthiri destroyer's power core. Before anyone could react, the human systems had already contained the problem, erecting a localized time dilation field that gave engineers several subjective hours to fix what would have been a split-second disaster. That's why we insisted on installing our safety systems first, Tanaka explained, already moving toward the incident site. Quantum technology can be unforgiving if you don't respect it. Above them, Captain Chen's voice echoed through the hangar. Status report, Commander. We're at 60% completion on the primary fleet, Tanaka responded, her augmented eyes streaming data directly to the Prometheus. The quantum shields are integrating better than expected, but the weapons systems are proving tricky. Their targeting computers can't handle the computational load of quantum calculations. We've received permission to install our AI cores, Chen replied. That should solve the targeting issue. How are the Zalthiri crews handling the neural interfaces? Veril answered before Tanaka could. Better than expected, Captain. The ability to directly communicate with our ships is revolutionary, though some are finding the experience overwhelming. The neural interfaces were perhaps the most controversial upgrade. Allowing direct mind-to-machine communication was a significant cultural shift for the Zalthiri, but necessary for operating the enhanced systems effectively. Long-range sensors have picked up something new, Chen continued, her tone growing serious. The quantum disturbances are increasing in frequency. We might have less time than we thought. Tanaka immediately began recalculating schedules. We can push the upgrades faster, but it'll increase the risk of system rejection. Do it, Chen ordered. Better to have slightly unstable quantum shields than none at all when they arrive. A new alarm sounded, this one from the Prometheus itself. The massive human ship's quantum sensors had detected something at the edge of their range. The unknown fleet was moving faster than predicted, using space-time distortions to cover vast distances. All teams, this is Captain Chen. Accelerate all upgrade protocols. Priority shift to defensive systems and quantum shielding. We just lost our safety margin. The hangar erupted into even more intense activity. Human engineers began bypassing safety protocols, taking calculated risks to speed up the integration process. The Zalthiri crews, sensing the urgency, worked alongside them without question. Tanaka turned to Viral, her expression grave. I hope your people are ready for this. What's coming? It's not just advanced technology. It's technology being used in ways it was never meant to be used. We've seen the aftermath before. Viril's tentacles writhed with determination. We're quick learners, Commander, and we have good teachers. He paused, watching as another cruiser's systems came online with quantum-enhanced capabilities. Though I can't help but wonder, what made humanity advance so quickly? What drove you to master these technologies? Necessity, Tanaka replied simply. And mistakes. Lots of mistakes. Everything we're installing here. We developed it because someone once used similar technology against us. We learned the hard way that the universe is larger and more dangerous than we imagined. Above them, the Prometheus's quantum core pulsed with energy, its sensors constantly scanning for the approaching threat. The upgraded Zalthiri ships were beginning to form a defensive network, their new quantum shields linking together in ways their builders had never imagined possible. The first attack came without warning. A quantum distortion rippled through space-time, tearing open a hole in reality itself. Through this breach emerged a single ship, sleek, dark, and radiating power that made the quantum sensors scream in protest. Analysis, Captain Chen demanded, standing at the Prometheus's command center. The bridge crew worked with enhanced speed, their neural interfaces streaming data faster than organic brains could process it. It's definitely using prohibited quantum tech, Commander Tanaka reported, her augmented eyes rapidly scanning incoming data. But the configuration is wrong. They're brute forcing it, causing micro-tears in spacetime with each jump. The unknown vessel hung in space, a dark slash against the stars. It was smaller than the Prometheus, but radiated an aura of wrongness that even the Zalthiri crews could sense through their new quantum interfaces. They're scanning us, Lieutenant Rodriguez announced from Tactical, trying to penetrate our quantum shields with. Captain, they're using old Earth protocols. Pre-quantum war configurations. Chen's expression hardened. So the rumors were true. Someone found one of the old catches. She opened a channel to the Zalthiri command. High Commander Nexus, move your fleet behind us. What's about to happen will be instructive. The alien ships, their newly installed quantum shields glowing with soft blue light, moved into formation behind the Prometheus. They had barely completed the maneuver when the enemy vessel attacked. A beam of twisted reality lashed out, attempting to unmake matter at the quantum level. It was a weapon that should have destroyed anything it touched. Instead, it splashed harmlessly against the Prometheus's defensive fields. Return the greeting, Chen ordered calmly. Show them what properly controlled quantum technology can do. The Prometheus's response was subtle but devastating. Instead of firing weapons, it created a carefully calculated quantum resonance field. The enemy vessel's shields, based on stolen and improperly understood technology, began to unravel. Their power core is destabilizing, Tanaka reported. They're trying to compensate, but their systems aren't properly synchronized. Quantum cascade failure imminent. Chen opened a channel to the enemy ship. Unknown vessel, power down immediately. Your quantum matrix is collapsing. We can help you survive this. The response came in garbled bursts of data, fragments of old Earth military codes mixed with alien encryptions. Then, before anyone could act, the vessel attempted another quantum jump. Its damaged systems tore a hole in spacetime. But instead of escaping, the ship imploded, crushed by forces it couldn't control. Track that quantum signature, Chen ordered. I want to know where they came from. She turned to address the Zalthiri commander's hologram. That was a scout, testing our defenses. The main fleet will be more careful now that they know we're here. Nexus's tentacles writhed with concern. Their technology, it was similar to yours. Similar but corrupted, Chen explained. Quantum technology requires precision, understanding. They're using stolen weapons they barely comprehend, like children playing with antimatter. She paused, studying the tactical display. And they're not alone. That ship was waiting for us, which means they knew we were coming. New alerts flashed across the bridge. The quantum disturbances at the sector's edge were intensifying. The main fleet was accelerating its approach, probably in response to losing their scout. How many ships in the main fleet? Nexus asked, his hologram flickering with anxiety. At least 300, Tanaka answered, analyzing the sensor data. But that's not the real problem. Their quantum signatures are creating harmonic resonances. If they all try to use those unstable drives at once, they could tear this entire sector apart. Chen finished, intentionally or not. She turned to address both her crew and the Zalthiri commander. This isn't just about defending against an invasion anymore. If we don't stop them here, their misuse of quantum technology could create a cascade effect that would destabilize space-time throughout the galaxy. The implications hung heavy in the air. This wasn't just a battle for territory or resources. It was a race to prevent catastrophe on a cosmic scale, caused by the reckless use of humanity's most dangerous technology.